All right, greetings everyone. Chris Campbell here at Campbell's Antique Clock and Watch Repair of Anderson, South Carolina. Today we are working on a quartz movement clock. This is going to be a custom build clock for a customer. This is the works that we're going to be putting in, and this is the clock case that we're going to be installing. It's a pretty large case. It's basically a high-end bourbon case without the bourbon. It's got the magnet lid. Inside here it had the Derringer cork top and the decanter. This was about a $200 bottle of bourbon, I think he said, complete. So we're going to be making this into a clock, and it's H. Dillinger Bourbon Whiskey. It's also got the label here, American Craftsmanship, American Pride, small batch, product of USA. So the first thing that we have to do is work on the hands just for a moment. These hands, when you get them, come with a protective film, and you just have to lightly get your fingers underneath it to get it started. You don't want to install it on the clock with that, because over time this can peel and cause the clock to slow. Alright, so that's one. And then we have our second hand. I've already done the hour hand. And so this is the second hand. Perfect. All right. Now, this is a Thompson quartz movement. That's a product made in the USA, one jewel, which is kind of odd. Most of them usually don't come with jewels, but this one does. And so what I'm going to do now is move my hands off camera here, because I won't need those right yet, but I will need these fittings. The washer. All right. So now we're going to take our case and we're going to install the movement through the front of the case, like so. All right. So this is going to take just a little bit of fitting. And to do so, what we're going to do is put our washer in place. And then we'll install our nut to the washer. And now we'll just tighten everything up to the movement. There we go. Sometimes this is easier said than done. All right. Now I'm going to close it up. I'm going to remove one of my little items here. There we go. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and install the hour hand. For this particular clock build, he did not want hand or numbers on the dial. He just wanted the fancy decorative hands and the second hand. So that's what we're going to be placing on here. And this little nut here is the one that gives the most trouble, because it's tiny and it's got a very fine thread. You have to get it just perfect, and because if not, it's going to cross thread, which will strip your threads and can mess up the entire movement. All right, make sure everything works freely, and it does. Make sure nothing catches, and it doesn't. That's what we want. And now we'll go ahead and install our second hand. Okay. All right, so the next step is to install the battery. We'll put it on the wall, monitor it to make sure that it's running correctly for about 24 hours. And then it's the customer. So stay tuned and I'll show you that here on the wall. And this is the final product. The Derringer bourbon whiskey clock with the gold hands ticking away. So this is a very beautiful case and one that he'll be proud. He's a bourbon connoisseur, whiskey connoisseur, and collects stuff like this. So this will go great with his collection. If you need any custom clocks made, we can make them just about out of anything. If you can think it, we can make it. Call me today at Campbell's Antique Clock and Watch Repair. Have a wonderful evening.